The rededication of the Peace Lion took place at St. John Fisher College in the Campus Center Quad on Sunday, April 29th. The Peace Lion was made by students of St. John Fisher College in 1993 after their fellow student, 19-year-old sophomore Jennifer Kuhn, was tragically murdered. Many gathered around the lion for the ceremony to celebrate and remember Jennifer. Friar Dan Haran spoke about the memorial, and Father Manara also spoke and led the crowd in a peaceful prayer to remember and honor Jennifer and all the good that came from her tragic death. After the ceremony, Dr. Timothy Madigan, Dr. Linda McMahon, and Mrs. Sally Vaughn answered some questions about the lion, Jennifer, and the foundation in her honor.
And it was really about a program, having a program to celebrate her life, but also recognize a student here at St. John Fisher who, represented the same qualities that Jennifer had. So we had to, we were constantly reviewing and encouraging certain qualities that, she was welcoming to others, a great listener, friendly. She was a quiet leader. She was quiet, so she wasn't super outgoing or anything, but she was always helping the underdog, seeing somebody who needed some help, and she would be there for them. So, Claire Sauter was selected as the winner, and I've just known her for 4 years, and I just see her step up all the time.
She's fantastic.
Can anybody help out with this, or can anybody help out with that? And Claire shows up, and it's like, Claire again? It's,
No.
It's like, Claire again? So anyway, that's sort of the history of, and again, it's before that. When did you come, Tim?
Oh, well, Tim came late in the sense that he saw the lion.
Okay, so
out
now
there.
that's the next piece.
Yeah, and there was nothing to commemorate it. It was just out there. And this, because the monument had been moved, right? It was originally, where was it originally? It was down
in the lawn down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we weren't aware. And one day it just was moved, and it's been up there ever since. And so you walk by it, as you say, you walk by it, and you have no way of knowing what is it. It's very pretty. It's very colorful. What does it stand for? Well, it stood for a fantastic young woman whose life was tragically cut short. She was murdered, and her parents, of course you can imagine, were completely devastated by this. But as I think Rick said so well at the ceremony, instead of just curling up and just trying to live with your grief, David Kuhn got involved in politics. And then they brought the fund and the Peace Fund here, trying to nurture what Jennifer's life is all about, and to honor it in others. And that's why someone like Claire is such a great recipient of the Courage Award, because she does demonstrate those quiet qualities of leadership that certainly Jennifer represented. I did not have the honor to know this young woman. I got to know her through participating with Sally in the selection process and learning about her story. And she really is a role model for all Fisher students. Wonderful young woman.
Yeah, I would just add, I too unfortunately didn't know Jennifer, but I certainly knew the story, and I knew that the lion was connected with honoring her, but I didn't know why. So we contacted Liz Durant, who she and her students had designed the lion, and that's when Linda and I thought, there really should be a plaque so that not only do people know who she was and why she's being honored, but what the lion is all about. And once you see that, I didn't even know until I read the description that there was the dove of peace on the forehead, and the flowers coming out. So it's really a very fascinating piece of art.
Yes.
And hopefully now everybody who passes it will read the plaque and say, okay, now I see what this is.
And may I just read, this is actually what Elizabeth Durant, she sent to me. The students, that's another thing that's so wonderful about this, is that Fisher's students designed and painted this lion.
Yeah.
It's just quite amazing. So she said that when the St. John Fisher College students who created the Lion for Peace and Justice began the project, they had a number of attributes and symbols in mind. The lion's multicolored mane represents diversity. Rising from the earth are various shades of green and images of plant life suggesting growth and vitality. These colors meld into shades of blue that symbolize water, sky, and clouds. An abstract dove of peace rests on the lion's forehead, calling forth peaceful thoughts. The golden gleam in his eye represents hope, and I believe the student artist achieved the right balance of strength and peace. And as Liz pointed out, the lion also has a heart. So you have all these wonderful symbols that really represented this young woman and her friends, the people who knew her and other students at Fisher. They designed this lion, and so it really is a symbol of the entire Fisher community.
Was named for Jennifer, and it was representing the qualities that Jennifer showed while she was here at college. So every year we have selected a student who epitomized Jennifer, and I think that I was thinking about the plaque out there that she was welcoming to everybody. So although I think diversity is a big term right now, back then she did not distinguish among students or anything. If it was just somebody who needed help, she recognized that. Her dad used to talk about at the cafeteria, if somebody was sitting alone, she'd go and join them or invite them to join her. I mean, that's pretty unusual. It might even be unusual right now, but also that, this good listener and friendly. But I think, when you think about some of those qualities, you might think of her being super outgoing, and she wasn't. She was quiet. She was very reserved. She was patient. And these are just, and I think that, you could have interviewed her friend out there too, who would have said, knew her, and she died at 19 years old, a sophomore in college. And I mean, the story is that she went up to an ATM machine and somebody jumped in her car. That was when ATM machines were, everybody, that's a quick way to get your money, and she was just at Pittsburgh Plaza, safe, and just a random act. And I think Linda makes a good point about her father turned that around in that he got into politics. And he said not only would he, affect Fisher and the Rochester community, but he would make a difference in New York State. And so, he was in the Assembly for years. I don't know how many years, but many, many years. And a couple of the winners at St. John Fisher of the Courage Award, we were invited to go to Albany and sit in on a session and so on. So I mean, he was really into education and keeping Jennifer